Let me ask you something important. What would your life look like if fear was no longer in control? What decisions would you finally make? What dream would you finally commit to? What version of you would finally step forward? Fear is the greatest illusion the mind creates. And it doesn't shout, it whispers. Wait, not yet. You're not ready. You're not good enough. You're too old. You're too young. But today, I want to show you something powerful. And that's fear is not a warning. It's a signal that your next level is calling. And today I'm going to cover three main topics about fear. And the first one is fear is just a mental construct. It's not reality. Most fear doesn't come from reality. It comes from the imagination misused. The mind projects the future, replays the past, and convinces the body that danger is present, even when nothing is happening. And here's the truth from mind power science, from neuroscience. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. So that's why fear feels real. But feeling real doesn't mean it is real. Fear is conditioned. You weren't born afraid of rejection. You weren't born afraid of failure. You learned these responses. In fact, the only fears we have as a baby is the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Every other fear, rejection, failure, abandonment, spiders, public speaking, you name it, is learned through experience, it's learned through conditioning, or it's learned through observation. And anything learned can be unlearned. So your mind is programmed for survival, not expansion. It chooses comfort over growth. So the moment you think about changing your life, fear appears. Believe me, I know, change is hard. It's just the way we're built. And sometimes the universe will push you when you're not ready, when you can't see it at the time. But just remember, fear isn't there to stop you. It's there to test you. Fear shows up at the edge of every manifestation, of every breakthrough. And some people call it God's waiting room. When the shit hits the fan, when everything around you is falling apart, including yourself. But there's another plan in store. And if you wait for fear to disappear before you act, you will stay exactly where you are. So action dissolves fear, not time, not just thinking about it, not waiting, taking action. And that leads me on to point two. Courage reprograms your identity. And here's where most people get this wrong. They think confidence comes first, and it doesn't. Confidence is a result. Courage is the cause. So every time you act in the presence of fear, you send a message to your subconscious mind, I am capable. I am safe. I trust myself. And identity begins to shift. Your identity begins to shift. You are not manifesting what you want. You are manifesting who you believe you are. And fear keeps you stuck in an old self-image, an old identity. Courage breaks that pattern. So small actions matter. Speak up when you'd normally stay quiet, when you'd normally stay silent. Ask for what you want. Take one step you've been postponing for years or for ages. Show up imperfectly. I mean, look at me. This isn't perfect, but it's a step forward. The subconscious mind responds to behavior, not just affirmations. You don't become confident and then act. You act and confidence follows. That's real mind power law. That's real neuroscience. And that leads me on to point number three. Fearless living is trusting in the process. At its core, fear is really about trust. Not trusting yourself, not trusting life, not trusting that things are going to work out for you. And we get afraid, we get scared, we feel unsafe. Fear says, what if this goes wrong? A powerful mind asks, what if this is preparing me? And a master mindset says, even if it goes all wrong, I'll learn from this experience and grow. When you trust yourself, fear loses its leverage. You've survived before, you've gone through shit before, we all have. You've adapted before, you've risen above it. And life responds to the frequency that you hold. And fear contracts energy. Trust expands it. And when you move from trust, you align with the opportunity. You attract better people. You stop settling for less. Fear blocks manifestation. Trust activates it. So fear is not your enemy. Fear is your invitation. It's an invitation to expand, to change, to evolve, to step into your higher self. So the question is not, how do I get rid of fear? The real question is, who do I become if I feel the fear and do it anyway? Because on the other side of fear is your real power, your purpose, your next level of manifestation. So have no fear, not because fear disappears, but because you've decided to rise above it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you like, please like and subscribe. Also, click on the links in the description below. Peace out. Watch these 2 videos.